So I've decided to put together what's probably going to be one of the best and most in-depth binary options for beginner series here on YouTube. And the best part is that this is going to be absolutely 100% free. Now, if you've gotten involved in the trading space within the last 2, maybe 3 years, chances are you probably have heard of binary options trading. The question is what have you heard and how accurate is that information? I've been trading binary options now since 2019, and although there has been some ups and downs and some learning experiences along the way, I can tell you guys it has probably been one of the best decisions I have ever made, especially when I was struggling to even understand the charts and read the charts or learn about this whole trading thing. Binary options just made it so much simpler for me to really get on and not only get it, but get to the money as well. I mean, let's take a moment to just really appreciate the binary option space. Who wouldn't want to make their hourly wage in a few minutes? So this is going to be one of many videos within the series, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe for the next and upcoming videos, because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be absolutely game changer. You're going to want to stay for this entire video to make sure that you learn every single thing that you need to learn to be able to take your binary options trading to a whole new level in this year and the years to come. So let's get into it. So although binary options does seem to be fairly new to the whole trading world and the trading space, the truth of the matter is that binary options has been around for quite some time. It's been a while. The thing is that it wasn't usually pushed as like a main way of trading. Everyone is more familiar with the stock market, the futures market, or even just the regular Forex market where you're trading leverage on platforms like MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. The reason for this is because as binary options came to the entire world and it started to grow and grow at a rapid pace because people were literally making money in minutes, what happened was that a lot of governments started to actually see this more as gambling than investing and trading. Binary options is an all or nothing style of trading. There's only 2 options you can choose from, which is why it's called binary. It's either you're buying or you're selling, you win or you lose. So typically in the binary option space, where most other styles of trading, you can set a risk to reward and you can kind of leverage out, whether it be a 1 to 2, a 1 to 5, a 1 to 10, or whatever the case may be. You can kind of offset the risk by gaining more reward. With binaries, there is a fixed risk and a fixed reward, meaning that before you even enter the trade, you know exactly what your risk is going to be, you know exactly what the reward is going to be, and that cannot change throughout the trade. Typically when you're trading binaries, depending on the platform that you're on, you're usually putting up a set amount of risk to be able to win a percentage of that risk. So for example, if I'm trading on a platform that offers percentages, then let's just say, for example, I'll risk $100 on a single trade to be able to make maybe about $70 to $80 within that trade, which would be a 70 to an 80% payout. Now, a big misconception within the binary options world is that for whatever reason that it is more riskier than any other style of trading. And although the risk might be different than other styles of trading like leverage Forex, for example, essentially we are all trading in the same exact market. So the way that I look at it, if you have a proper trading plan and you know what it is that you're doing, I mean, the chances of you making profit is just the same as any other style of trading. In fact, I would even go as far to say that you have a higher chance of actually clearing that trade if you understand the markets and know how to trade. When you're trading binaries, there are many different things that you can trade in the binary space, whether that be regular Forex, whether that be stocks, indices. There are even some brokers that allows you to trade specifically news events. And the thing is that, like I said, if you know what you're doing, it is still more skill than it is gambling. Here's why. We are looking at the same exact market as any other trader. So for example, let's say I decide to trade binary options and my forte is to trade currencies. I'm still looking at the same exact Forex market. I'm still looking at the same exact currencies, the same exact charts as anyone else who's trading Forex. The only difference is the way that I implement or the way that I execute that trade. Typically when you're trading leverage style Forex, you can do things like set a market execution, a stop loss, and a take profit. And there are different ways to execute, whether that be a pending order or, as I just said, a market execution. Whereas in the binary option space, there are a lot of platforms that do allow you to do pending orders, but more popular is that most people just do the instant execution option and they remain in that trade for a certain period of time. Now, unlike other styles of trading where typically you want to be looking for bigger moves in the market, you want to be looking for that huge push either to the upside or a huge push either to the downside, because the more the markets move, the more money you can make. With binary options, we don't really have to get these large, massive moves in the market. We can literally be a few points in profit and still clear and make all of our money. So it's not necessarily about how far the market can move, it's just about being correct within a certain period of time. With binary options, timing and price is very important. important. The price that you get in at and the amount of time that you are entering to get into that trade, or also known as your expiration. The beautiful part about trading binary options is that because there are only two options, the chances of you clearing or losing a trade always starts at 50-50. You start at that 50-50 opportunity straight from the beginning, which is why so many people actually become profitable without even knowing exactly what it is that they're doing in the market. All you have to do is get good at a few things. If you get good at some indicators, if you get good at some confirmations, you can actually increase that 50% chance to a little bit higher, maybe towards the 60s. And if you're looking at the math on that, right, and you are correct more than you actually lose, well, if you're thinking about it, you will always be in profit in the binary options world, because unlike other styles like leverage, for example, that fixed risk, you can't go higher or you can't lose more than what it was that you initially got into the trade for. So naturally, when you're trading other styles like leverage, you would set a take profit, and your take profit could be 30 to 40 pips in the negative. And obviously we know the more negative that trade becomes, the more money you lose. With binary options, it does not work that way. So if I enter a $100 trade and that is the max risk that I have on that trade, that is all I'm gonna lose. And all I have to do is just win a little bit more than I lose to remain profitable in the binary options world. So as you get better at trading and as you start to understand the markets and learn about the higher highs and higher lows and support and resistance, remember, we're doing the same exact analysis as any other trader. The difference is our execution and when we're looking to get out. But if you could just get good at that analysis and only be a couple pips in profit, well, you can make a lot of money. Now, I can go on for days with all of the pros to binary options, and I'm sure I don't have to convince you of too much because you're obviously watching this video for a reason. But does the pros outweigh the cons? And that is the biggest question. So let's talk about some of the cons that most people talk about with binary options. One of the biggest cons is the risk to reward. Again, because you're not able to set that profit target or that stop loss in the market, and it is a fixed risk with a fixed reward that only pays out a portion of the total risk, most people don't like this and they see this as an upside down risk to reward, and it kind of turns them off. But I personally believe that the odds of you winning, the likelihood of you clearing the trade and being profitable more than losing outweighs the risk. But this is the way that I put it, and obviously it's a horrible analogy because we don't want to compare trading to the lottery, but when I do these videos, I like to make this as relatable as possible. So I'll give you guys a quick example. We all know about the lottery, and we know how many people play the lottery, how many people are willing to invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into playing the lottery for the hopeful chance of winning, even though you have like literally a 1 in a million chance of winning, right? It's the stakes are just so bad. So my thing is this: if you had a 50% chance of winning the lotto every single time that you played, how often would you play? Now, what if I told you that there was a specific number or a specific chart that you can look at that pretty much, if you got good at analyzing this chart, you can increase that 50% to maybe 60% and above? Well, the odds are, and I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this one out, you'd be playing the lotto a lot more. So my point is very simple, is that the likelihood of you clearing the trade and the fact that it is an increased likelihood of you clearing that trade kind of outweighs the risk within the trade, which is why so many people are willing to do it. But on top of that, why so many people are becoming profitable. Now, whether or not those profits are long-term, that's a different story. Now, another con to binary options that a lot of people like to talk about, which I think is just completely biased, is how many corrupt and just non-honest binary brokers there are out there in the world. I don't really like to look or dig too much into this one, and the reason being is because you can go to any industry in the world and there are going to be corrupt companies, corrupt entities, corrupt people that kind of give a bad name for the rest of the group. And the thing is that, I mean, even if you're looking at leverage style Forex, I mean, they're going through something right now where, I mean, MT4 and MT5 was taken out of the App Store literally for this exact reason. Corrupt brokers, corrupt companies, and just a lot of fraudulent stuff happening within the industry. The difference between the two is that there are a lot more leverage style brokers than there are binary options brokers. So yes, of course, if you're looking at the bunch, the unlegitimate ones are probably going to stick out because there's always going to be way more rotten apples than good ones. All you have to do is do a little bit of research, find a broker that you like, a broker that you can trust, and you have nothing to worry about. Whether it be regulated or unregulated, every industry of trading has both types. They have unregulated platforms and they have regulated platforms. Regulated is probably going to be your safest route, which is where most people like to go if you want to take the safe route. But the unregulated brokers often come with more benefits and they're a little bit more fun to trade on because there are not as many restrictions. So it's really just, it's not really a con, it's more of a preference in how trusting you are within the platform that you're trading on. Now, speaking of platforms, within the binary options space, most people are used to starting up a broker and linking linking that broker to the trading platform. And binary options, you don't have to do that because pretty much every single binary options broker that you go ahead and fund an account with literally offers the trading platform within the broker. So there's no linked accounts or anything like that, and that just makes the whole process a lot easier and more smooth for new traders to be able to come in, fund an account, or use a demo account and get straight to trading without the back and forth of having to deposit here and then send it over there and then make the account and do all this extra stuff. It's just so much more seamless and straight to the point. Now, depending on which broker you are on, whether that be a regulated or an unregulated broker, or whether you may be in a different country, I'm here in the United States, most brokers, especially if they're unregulated, your deposit and withdrawal method is more than likely going to be cryptocurrency, as that is a global currency. It's easier for brokers to use, especially if they have traders from all around the world. Now, if you are on a regulated platform and it's regulated within your country, then more than likely the banks that you use within that country will be acceptive of that broker. So like, for example, Nadex is a big broker here in the United States, and it is a regulated binary options broker. With Nadex, you can actually deposit and withdraw with your bank account. Why? Because it's US regulated, therefore a US bank would be an option to go ahead and deposit and withdraw. Whereas if you use an unregulated broker that may be formed overseas or not in the US, they probably don't use US currencies or US banks, and that's why crypto is always going to be the easiest and the fastest way to both put your money in but also get your money out. Now again, this is something else that you might want to look into, because a lot of brokers have terms and conditions that you might want to read before putting your money into that broker, so that you don't have any issues in the future in terms of withdrawals or what you may or may not be able to do with the profits that you make. Now, last but not least, we are going to get into strategy, because this is probably the biggest thing that you're going to see on YouTube. I guarantee you, if you were to go to YouTube after this video and search up the best binary strategy, you will see thousands of different videos of people telling you they have the best binary strategy in the world, and you can literally turn $10 into $10,000 within about 15 minutes, right? Well, here's the truth, and this is what they don't tell you, is that this is not true. See, the reason why binary options has such a bad name is because of people just like that. You're overhyping and under delivering. You're over promising, and people are getting excited over the thought of being able to turn $10 into $10,000 and not really understanding that trading is a skill altogether. And whether you're trading stocks, whether you're trading cryptocurrencies, whether you're trading binary options, the skill is a skill, and you need to learn the skill first. So when it comes to strategy and the best strategy, there are still 3 things that you guys might want to take into account and learn for yourself. Number 1 is going to be technical analysis. Technical analysis is probably the most popular form of trading, whereas you're looking at the charts, and based off of your analysis, based off of the tools that you may have, based off of market structure and how the markets move on the technical side, this might be able to help you determine what might happen next in the markets. Fundamental analysis is number 2, which is where you're getting more into news trading. You're trading off of events and what's happening in the economy right now, which obviously moves, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's commodities like gold, whether it's regular currencies like the US dollar or the Japanese yen. Fundamental analysis could help you out with getting some nice entries and scalping the markets really quick based off of a major news event. Last but not least is the sentimental analysis. And sentimental analysis, there's so many different ways to kind of describe it. The best way that I put it into terms for people to understand, it's trading off of your emotional state, trading off of the market's emotion, whereas you're looking at what might happen next based off of what everyone else is doing, based off of the feeling. For example, we look at Bitcoin and the cycles and stuff like that, for example, and whenever Bitcoin takes a dip into the market, well, what happens? Most people who got in off of hype and excitement of Bitcoin shooting up, well, they're gonna panic and the market's gonna correct itself, and that feeling alone, that sentimental analysis, right, of how the markets are feeling, how the players in the markets are feeling, that is moving the market, and you can get some good entries just from understanding that kind of stuff as well. Now, I always say sentimental analysis comes more with experience. The more you trade, the more you understand what moves the markets and how certain people react to certain events and things that might happen in the markets, the more you understand sentimental analysis. But the thing is that, once again, when it comes to strategy, there is no best strategy. Learn how to trade, learn how to read the markets, and you will do very good for yourself. We have to take this into account. If there was a best strategy, why would there be so many different teachers, so many different courses, so many different videos on the internet teaching you different strategies. There is no best. Everyone would be trading the best if that was the case. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick introduction to binary options, and if you did and you're not already subscribed, you're definitely going to want to hit that subscribe button for more videos and informative information just like this one to help you take your trading to a whole nother level. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you Hulk smash that like button so that more people just like you can see this information, and it hopefully helps them out as well, because this is the stuff that people need to hear, man. But I want to hear from you. Drop down in the comment section below, what are your favorite things about binary options, whether you like it or maybe you don't like it. What are some of the things that you hate about it? I would love to hear it and maybe make another video based off of those things. But we're gonna wrap it up for now, and if you haven't done so already, check out this playlist right here on the screen, where I would yet again be teaching you everything that you need to know about binary options. Until next time, guys, it's your boy Rico, aka RockStarrFX. I'm out. Peace.